All right, hello everyone. I hope you're having a great day at home. We are here, or I am here, and you are joining me at home to finish up our figurative language notes. This page should be in your packet. It should be stapled there. If not, hopefully it's in your folder because there are no papers in your mailbox, but everyone should have this page with them. If you're missing any of them, if you were gone one day or you didn't get all the notes in, make sure, I'm going to go through it all. So make sure you're paying attention and you can fill in all of your blanks. For every figurative language, we are going to be writing 3 examples, or really, you're going to be writing that. So if you need to pause the video, write your examples before you move on to the next one, that would be a great idea. Okay, so starting at the top with idioms. We know idioms really well. The words together, the words have a different meaning when they're put together, right? Raining cats and dogs. Cats and dogs are not coming out of the sky, but when I say that, we know, oh, something, it's describing that there's a lot of rain, something different is happening. Here's an example of an idiom, couch potato. Couch potato is not a potato that is sitting and relaxing on the sofa. We actually use couch potato to describe someone that really likes to sit on the couch. And maybe they're lazy, and when they're at home, they just like to sit on the sofa and watch TV and relax. Right? Not always a bad thing, but a couch potato is someone that is describing a person who likes to sit on the couch. So those words together, couch potato, is not describing a potato on a couch or a couch made of potatoes or something. It's describing actually a person because the words together have a different meaning. So if you're missing 3 examples of idioms, you can pause the video and write 3 of them. We've learned over 12 now, so you should have some in mind. If you forgot them, there is a picture on WhatsApp of the ones you just got tested on, so you can write 3 examples of that. The next one we talked about is alliteration. Our example of alliteration is happy Harry. Alliteration is repetition of the first sound. So here the H is being repeated. Sometimes it's other sounds, but normally we just look at that first sound. So here, there's only 2 words that have the alliteration, happy Harry. Normally more is better, so like happy Harry had a hamburger. 4 is a little bit better, but even 2 is good. So, alliteration, if you're missing the notes, is the repetition of the same sound, and the same sound is repeated 2 plus, meaning 2 or more times. Here it's only 2, but more tends to be better. Mike made marshmallow milkshakes. That's a great example of alliteration. Make sure you have 3 examples where you're repeating the sound in your phrase for your example box. All right, now we're going to move on to a new one today. This is one we talked about a little bit back in the fall in the first semester. We talked about, similes of God and similes in the Bible. So simile, you spell it with an I, and then it's just like the word smile, but you have an S or an I in there, smile, but we say simile, so don't say smile. There's an I, simile. The simile is comparing 2 things that are different, using the word like or as. So here, bright as a light bulb. Now, bright is one of the words that can have more than one meaning. Bright can describe like the sun is so bright up in the sky, or bright can be like the word listo, describing how smart you are. So like someone that's bright is really smart. So here, bright as a light bulb, do you think that's talking about how smart someone is, or is it talking about light? I think it's talking about light, but maybe it could be talking about how smart someone is. So again, we're comparing 2 things. If I said you are as bright as a light bulb, well, maybe I'm not talking about light there. Maybe I'm talking about being smart, right? But it's comparing 2 different things using like or as. I'm going to give you an example of a simile that you know. In your note page, your definition. Those 2 missing words are like and as. The comparison of 2 unlike or different things using like or as. Here's a simile that you should be familiar with. You are, so I'm talking about you are as. Here is my simile word. What are the 2 simile words? Like and as. You are as free, actually, here's my simile word again, as a bird. Free as a bird in the big blue sky. Now, what am I saying right here? Am I saying that you are a bird? Am I saying that you are flying in the sky? No, I'm just saying you might feel as free as a bird. Right now, because you're at home and you're not at school, you might be like, yeah, I feel as free as a bird. I don't have to be sitting in school right now. Now, I'm really glad you're still doing school at home, because even though you're not at school, we do want you to keep learning today, but you have a little bit more freedom. So you are as free as a bird. Obviously, because I'm at school right now, I am not free as a bird. But when I go home, then I will be as free as a bird, just like you. So you are as free as a bird. Simile. Or you could say, here's the example, the boy is as fast as a cheetah. It's not calling the boy a cheetah, it's just saying he is as fast as a cheetah, or as tall as a giraffe, or as little as a mouse, right? Using like or as to compare two different things. So I want you to give me 3 examples on your page. You might want to pause the video, write your 3 examples, and then we're going to start on the other side when you get back. All right, so we just looked at similes, which is comparing two things using like or as. Now we're going to move on to metaphors. We haven't talked about metaphors this year. Metaphors are very, very similar to similes, but there is one big difference. And the one big difference is they do not use the word like and they do not use the word as, but you're still comparing two different things. So here is an example, heart made of gold. This is a phrase that we use in English. I don't know if you use it in Spanish too, maybe, but it's to describe someone's heart. And if they have a really beautiful, kind heart, like gold is really beautiful. So we say, your heart is made of gold. Now, is their heart inside their body made of gold? No, right? The words together, kind of like an idiom, have a different meaning than what is actually said. So here what they're saying is your heart is really beautiful. You have a kind heart. Your heart is made of gold. So, but did we use the word like? Did I say your heart is like gold? Did I say your heart is as beautiful as gold? No, I didn't use like or as. I just said your heart is made of gold, or you have a heart of gold, would be another way to put it. So here in our box again, we are not on the first side with the title, we're on the second side with 4 of different rows here. So this is a metaphor, met, and then that sound is that PH in English, for. A metaphor. And let's look at our definition. It says a comparison of two different things without using like or as. So very similar to similes, but we do not use like or as. That is the big difference. So here's the example. Dad is a monster in the morning before he drinks his coffee. Now, it's not trying to say something mean about dad. He's like, my dad's a monster. No, that's not what they're saying here. What they're saying is he is really crazy or grumpy, or maybe his hair is a mess and his clothes is a mess and he looks like a monster. I don't know what they're trying to say here, right? It's open to interpretation. But dad is a monster in the morning before he drinks his coffee. Again, not calling him a monster, it's just kind of saying he's like a monster because he maybe is grumpy and whatever. Okay, so let's think back to our simile example. The simile example was you are as free as a bird, or you are like a free bird. Now, how can I make that into a metaphor? What do I need to do? Because they're very similar. I can write it, again, basically the same way, but what should I not do if I want it to be a metaphor? I should not use 2 words. I should not use the word like, and I should not use the word as. So if I want to keep describing you, you are at home and you are, I don't want to say as free as a bird or like a free bird, you are so I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to say what you are, or what you really aren't, but what I'm comparing you to, you are a free bird. Now, again, I'm not saying you are a bird flying in the sky, there's a meaning here. What do you think the meaning is if you are a free bird? Right, just like the meaning of the simile. It's just saying that you are free, you don't have to be in school, it's super exciting. I'm sorry you still have to do it at home, but it's good for your brains. So you are a free bird. Again, not calling you a bird, but it's just showing how free you are. I did not use the word like, and I did not use the word as, because this is a metaphor, and we don't use that. We just say exactly what it is. If I want to talk about how tall someone is, I always like to use giraffe, but there's other animals or things you could use. You could say a tree, right? But I could say, he is a giraffe. Am I calling? Am I saying he is exactly a giraffe? No, I think we can understand that. It's probably talking about how tall he is, right? Or maybe she is a little mouse. I'm not trying to be mean and call her a mouse. A mouse isn't a bad thing, but I'm just trying to say that she's small, just like a mouse is small, right? So it's very similar to a simile, but we're not using like or as. He is this, she is this, they are this. We're not using like or as here. So give me 3 examples, right? He is a cheetah. He is so fast, right? Those type of examples right here on your paper, and then you can start the video when you're done. All right, we're going to review one more that we have already covered before moving on to the last two. The one that we have covered is right here, personification. Personification is giving human characteristics to non-human things. So like if something that's not alive or is not a human, we're going to say it's doing something that a human would do. Our example is lightning dance across the sky. Now, the lightning as it comes down is not actually dancing. We say the lightning strikes, but here is trying to say like it looks like a dance is going this way and that way and it's dancing across the sky. So a non-human thing, the lightning, is doing a verb that only humans do. Typically, personification is going to be using a verb that is specific to what humans can do. Like singing. Really, humans are the only ones that can sing. A bird makes a sound, but it's not singing words to a song. So I say, the birds sing in the trees. Well, that's actually a personification because they're making sounds, but it's not actual singing like humans do. So make sure you give me 3 examples. Again, the trees dance, lightning dance. We talked about the curtains can swing, like you're on a swing, they can swing from the breeze. So of an object doing a verb that a human does. Make sure you have 3 examples. You should have already done it, but if you're missing it, now's your time to get caught up. All right, we have 2 more. Right here, we're going to start with my favorite figurative language, and that is onomatopoeia. I'm going to send a video of this because 5th and 6th grade know we have a video that we really like. And on the screen, there's a picture of a man singing. He's doing a rap. It's really cool. And then on this part where it's black, it pops up the words. And the words that pop up, it doesn't pop up everywhere, but the words that do pop up are onomatopoeia. So you'll see like oink and flush, and those words that you see are examples of onomatopoeias. Now, onomatopoeias, let me spell that for you because you'll have to write it in your box. Nope, not that box. Write it in this box. Onomatopoeia. This is really weird because it has 4 vowels in a row. Onomatopoeia. It imitates or copies the sounds we hear. Bam, crash, boom, oink, flush. Right? Those are onomatopoeias. So here in the first box it says words whose sounds, the sounds of the word, I didn't finish my sentence, suggest their meaning, right? Flush. Even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably know, oh, that sounds like a toilet. Maybe she's talking about flushing the toilet, right? It should sound just like it. Or moo, right? You don't have to know that I'm talking about a cow. Oh, that sounds just like a cow, right? Onomatopoeia. It's suggesting it sounds just like what the sound you hear. In the second box, these are noises, right? We're just copying the noises that we hear. And they give you the another tip is saying they're often italicized. I noticed this 5th and 6th grade in the reading page, El Jardín, that I sent home. It had you write 3 onomatopoeias. And how I found them really fast was looking at the words that are italicized. Italicized when they're like this. They're kind of at an angle. It's not cursive. They're still normal, but they are at this angle. An example would be like this. Right, it's harder to do. It's easier to type it than to do it, but they're kind of like, whoop, at this little angle. So bang, right? It's easier to find it when you see normal text. There was a, kind of hard to see, but the bang is like this. You go, oh, that's a sound that I should be hearing if I'm reading the story. So these are pretty simple to write. Animal sounds, meow, oink, moo. Those are also onomatopoeias. Bam, bam, crash, boom. Also onomatopoeias. So give me 3 examples right there. There's a lot of great ones in the video I'm going to send to you. And typically also, they are italicized at this angle, and there's normally an exclamation mark as well, because it's like, woo, do you hear that sound? It's trying to get your attention. All right, when you are done with those 3, we're gonna move on to our last one, which is hyperbole. Now, hyperbole is what we call an exaggeration. I think that's similar in Spanish. I might be wrong. Oh, this is gonna be good. Exageración. I don't know. However you say it. Okay. And hyperbole is an exaggeration that is not true. It's saying something that you maybe want to be dramatic or really excited, but it's not fully true. So here, my mom's going to explode. Maybe you didn't do your homework, or you got a bad grade on a test, or maybe you didn't clean something you're supposed to clean, and your mom's going to explode. Is your mom really going to explode like a bomb? No, she is not going to explode. It's just meaning that she's going to get really angry, right? So again, it's kind of like an idiom in that the words themselves have a little bit of a different meaning. So it's an exaggeration that can't be true. So let's look at our page. Make sure you put in hyperbole in the first box. It is an extreme exaggeration. Ooh. E-X-A-G-G-E-R-A and then an extreme exaggeration. Let me give you an example. I slept a long time last night. Is that an extreme exaggeration? No, it's just kind of a normal, little bit boring of a sentence, right? I want to make it a little bit more exciting, so I'm going to use a hyperbole. I slept for 2 days straight without waking up. Now, is that really true? No, that does sound nice. That would feel so good if I did sit that long. That would be a little too long, but, right? It's an extreme exaggeration. You're sitting there going, Miss Angela, you did not sleep for 2 days, right? I'm exaggerating, but you can understand that from saying that, you go, oh, Miss Angela must have slept for a long time. So, my mom's going to explode. I slept for 2 days. Let me give you some more examples. You can also use this in a negative way. The homework took me 5 days to do. I only sent you with 2 days of homework. So if it really took you 5 days to do, I don't think that's true. Or maybe you have a friend that runs faster than a car. If you came to me and said that you or a friend ran faster than a car, I'm going to say, I don't think so. That would be really cool, but I don't think so. But I will know that you or your friend, whoever you're talking about, runs really fast. So this exaggeration, normally, just like an idiom, the meaning is a little bit different than what we're saying. Normally I was going to go, oh, so it's not, what you're saying isn't fully true. It's just looking down here that you run fast or it took a long time. So this is going to take forever. It really will not take you forever. You will not be doing your homework or whatever for the rest of your life, or for forever, which is longer than your life, right? But it's an exaggeration. One of my favorite examples of an exaggeration is my grandparents. They live on a farm. And the farm has a driveway. A driveway is a road that leads only to your house. So it's not like a normal road. It's a road just going up to a house. And their driveway is long. And so when I was a kid and I was writing a story about going to my grandparents' house, I said that it took like 2 hours to go down this driveway. Or this driveway was super, super long. It was miles and miles and miles long. Okay, this driveway was probably as long as here to the Canadian project, okay? So all those houses over there. It was not very far. But as a kid, I wanted to exaggerate. I wanted to use a hyperbole to say it took forever, because I would always be so excited to go see my grandparents, but then we'd have to go really slowly down this long driveway. So I used a hyperbole and exaggeration to make my story a little bit more interesting. So 3 examples of something, again, exaggeration. It's not fully true. You're just making it really interesting, exciting. It took 5 days to do this, whatever. So give me 3 examples right here on your page, and then you should be done. Now, if you're still having some questions or some things are confusing about our figurative language, don't worry. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, when we're back in class, we're going to do a little bit of review before we move on. So if you're missing anything, if you have questions, we'll make it all a little bit more clear then. And I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.